Hello everyone, welcome to Devil May Cry 1 Guns Only. So, the rules. Number 1, guns only. 2, we are allowed to use healables and such. Devil Trigger is allowed. And that's pretty much all the rules. Hope if you want more of these videos, leave a like, a comment, and hope you enjoy. So we start with our first enemy, the puppets. They're pretty easy, you just spam the trigger and you can get through them. They aren't as such a problem in the later stages of the game. Once you get the shotgun, you can kill them in pretty much 2 shots at close range. So we encounter our first failure, so to speak. For these, whatever you want to call them, you have to use your sword to activate them. They can't be activated by your gun. So technically, yeah, we failed the challenge, but you know, yeah. So instead, this is going to be an only bosses, all bosses, or as many as possible. Now this room is pretty simple, just walk in a circle and shoot. And you might get hit a couple of times, but they won't, as long as you keep them at a good range, they shouldn't be much of a problem. Okay, so this room is just filled with, this hallway is just filled with puppets, so you can just keep them at a range, do what you did in the previous puppet room, where they were coming out of the walls, and just spray. So then we come to the Albister, and well, there's still a few more enemies back here, so we can't interact with it yet, but once we do, we just continue spraying. Once you hear that musical boom boom, you know that all the enemies are dead. So we grab the Albister and we unlock our first devil trigger, the lightning. So we come to the library, and this is where we will actually unlock the shotgun. Now we will have to use our sword on the table in front of you since you can't shoot it, but once we destroy the table you can actually grab the shotgun, and this is by far one of the best guns in the game. So now we come to our first boss fight, the first Phantom encounter. Now this is pretty easy with the shotgun, just keep it at range and you can drain through his health pretty easily. So just you can just see his health dropping rapidly. It's simple, you can just do that, and pretty much this whole fight consists of shooting, running away, shooting and running away. Now after you defeat the Phantom the first time, he will chase you down this hallway, but you don't even have to damage him, which I foolishly do here. You can just run back to the little safe room with the Lord of Time statue and the fight will end and you won't have to do a thing. Although if you pop Devil Trigger you can put away huge chunks of his health, but I got scared here when I saw how low my health was, so I ran in this room and discovered that you can actually do that. The Nilo Angelo fight is pretty easy, jump and shotgun, and that's pretty much the whole fight. I do get hit a fair amount of times, but you can just jump and shoot and you won't be able to do much. Range attack is probably about the only thing you got to look out for, that's pretty easily avoided when you jump over all of his attacks. So here we come to the second Phantom fight, and this one was far more challenging than the first, I found. There's not as much cover or anything to use to like make him funnel through a choke point or anything, but as long as you jump, double trigger, shotgun his head, you should get through this pretty easily. So after the second Phantom fight, we come to the Griffin. This is pretty simple. You can't do much with the shotgun, so I use the grenade gun and it just chews through his health. You can also use Devil Trigger, and it doesn't increase the damage much, but I think it increases the fire rate a bit. So that's this fight. It's pretty simple. Just rinse and repeat this. Now for this part, I can't remember the name of this place, but just use the grenade launcher on the puppets and kill them in one shot, and then just follow the light. Do that 3 times and you'll be at where you need to be. To kill this normal sort of spider enemy, pretty simple. You can't open that door without the spider being dead. I figured that out, so I just grenade launched him in the head and he was dead. Which brings us to the second Michelangelo fight. This is just like the other ones, just shotgun or whatever you feel comfortable with. I personally used the shotgun. I think it worked pretty well against him, as you will probably see. And just like the first fight, jump, devil trigger. Just try not to get hit by his sword slashes or his combos, and you can just shoot through yourself like I'm doing. After that Neo Angelo fight, you have the Griffin Ghost Ship fight. Now this, I have never understood what that red ball is that launches me into the sky, but hey. I used the grenade launcher again. It's really effective against the Griffin, but there are some times when it fires too slow and your grenades will miss. But around the end of the fight, the Griffin will land up on the back of the ship, and I swap to my shotgun and just destroy his health. So, pretty simple to do. And now we come to the hardest part of the entire game. Not a boss, a jump. Now, for the record, I don't have air hike, which would make this 10 times easier, but this is double speed. I spent, I don't even know how long, just trying to make this one simple jump to grab the spears to get into the final Griffin fight. And it's just, oh my god, I can still remember it. It was not a pleasant experience. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. But after that torturous experience, we come to the final Griffin fight. Now, my grenades were missing at first, so I got under him and just kept the grenade launcher in. This fight again, like the others, just that lightning attack always gets me sometimes. But yeah, just grenade launcher until he flies up above, and then you just take the portal, go up, and grenade launcher again, and he'll fall to the ground, and then yeah. So during his second phase, I found that the grenade launcher wasn't doing as much damage as I would have liked, so I put the shotgun on, and well, the shotgun's carried us through most of this game so far, so you can see how well it did. At first the shots weren't counting, so I kept spamming the square button, and eventually he fell. Now we have the first nightmare fight. Now this wasn't really challenging, the first encounter you have with them. The other ones in the later game, they one of the only times they ever actually die. But again, this fight is actually not beatable guns only. You have to use the swords on those little round things to actually be able to initiate damage phase, so to speak. So, another fail. How I beat him, it was pretty simple really. Just jump and shoot if it's up on there, or if the ball is at his back, you can just stand behind him and devil trigger and destroy it, like here. You can get a fair amount of damage done this way, so it works out. So after that fight, we then encountered the final Michelangelo fight, which same as all the other fights. shotgun, jump. His attacks are, I found, a lot slower and easier to avoid in his final form, so to speak. Just try not to get comboed by those balls. And shotgun, devil trigger, jump. Same as all the other bosses so far. And yeah, you should beat him fairly easily. So we put the Philosopher's Egg in the fire, and that activates the second nightmare fight. Again, I use the same setup as I always have, and we have the another fail, if you want to count it. But same as all the other things, but I do actually die during this fight. So one of the only times I've ever actually died during this playthrough. But yeah, fairly simple to avoid. I left the Sparda sword on by accident, so I don't have a devil trigger, which was upsetting and made it a tiny bit more difficult. But I will switch. I think I switched about halfway through, and then on the second try, I have my Albister equipped, I think. But yeah, fairly simple fight. Just do what we did on the last fight, except it's a little more difficult. After we enter the mirror realm, we will encounter our first nobodies. Now, as you can see, I just stood on top of this fountain down here and devil triggered, and you can kill them both fairly quickly. And for this big one coming over here, same thing, just spam the shotgun and you'll be fine. The final nightmare fight. I just didn't find it too bad really. It was same as the others, quite repetitive. Destroy the arse ball. I got hit by those attacks fairly often, so one of the main hard difficult parts of this fight. But other than that, yeah, it was pretty simple really.
Humans, what sweets. You should know better than to trust a stranger. Your presence has become a hindrance to my master's bloody scheme. Now die!
So after Trish betrays us, we have the second phase, so run over, activate the circle thing. And I actually have never gotten trapped in this before, so yeah. But I get him down pretty low when he begins to do his heal attack, and I start to feel a bit panicky, but you can pretty much just shotgun the ball and you can deplete what health he healed back fairly quickly. And this is actually the only other time I've actually experienced the healing attack. I never had it happen before.
I must face a Sparda. Strange fate, isn't it?
Strange and ironic that it will end the same way.
Irony has favored you this time. Look, there.
So we meet Mundus, find out Trish is into some kinky stuff, and
Trish!
yeah.
Think about it. Blink. She dies.
Get stabbed by some creepy GP eye lasers.
So sad that humans will always be humans. No more. Has the Sparda blood been spoiled over the ages? Now, die!
And as you can see, Trish sacrifices herself. So the first phase of Mundus's fight, pretty simple. It's played as normal. Dodge around, hit the balls with your attack, and build up the devil trigger to call in your dragon. Same as your normal playthrough actually. So we come to Mundus's second phase, and this is pretty simple. Devil trigger, launch balls at his chest. Make sure he doesn't hit your platform, and I think he's going to hit my platform, and he does, but yeah. I do accidentally sword swing one of his balls to build up my devil trigger, so if you want to count that as a fail, go ahead. But yeah, just rinse and repeat, building up the devil trigger and shooting it at his chest, and you'll get through this fight pretty fast. Now his final form or his final phase or encounter, shotgun blast, and you can get down a fair amount of his health. I did use a holy water at the end, and I failed for some reason, so I did do it again, and I did beat it the second time through, so it is beatable, guns only. I don't know why. It didn't let me deal any damage, so I used my holy water and screwed myself over.
No.
Dante, you'll be okay. You can do it.
What? Mother.
Dante, use my power!
Trish!
So when Trish gives you her lightning powers, same as you normally would, just ebony and ivory, until Mundus goes down.
We have a winner.
Jackpot.
Then, as you can see, Mundus receives the best head of all time. He gets that Guac Guac 9000. So, can you beat Devil May Cry 1 with guns only? No, you can't. But you can beat a fair amount of the bosses. There are a few bosses which you can't beat, such as Nightmare, but other than that, every single other boss is beatable guns only. So, if you want more of these, leave a like, subscribe, you know the drill. Peace.